Sasit Gamage, and I produce dubstep, drum and bass, drum step, sort of hard genres by DLI is called iClown. I've been producing music since 3 years, and it's been 2 years since I broke into the radio system. And since then I've been releasing a lot of music through my SoundCloud, Facebook, electronic media in general. Likes and dislikes, really I don't get anything as at now, but musically speaking, I really love Pendulum, Lamb of God, Slipknot, most in general the hardcore genre bands, artists, etc. Dislikes, I don't have dislikes. To be frank, I used to hate electronic music about 3 years back, and then one of my friends introduced me to one of Korn's songs featuring Skrillex called Get Up. So that was the moment I realized that electronic music can be fused with metal rock type of music. So that got me inspired to do dubstep, drum and bass, and sort of fusing genres as well. First of all, when I started making music, I didn't have an intention of doing it in a bigger manner that I do these days. I was simply happy to release one or two tracks per month and get the feedback from my friends and all that. But stuff started getting pretty serious, and I developed personally as an artist as well. And when it started getting serious, I got to know friends from the industry as well, and as a result I got some really cool opportunities. Specifically mentioning, I got signed to a UK record label called Round On Records, and they've been pretty much helping me in all my musical aspects as well. And then I got to remix 2 metal bands. I don't know if I can call one band a metal band. It's a progressive rock band, and then comes Tantrum. I got the opportunity to remix Tantrum after I remixed Amadeus. And very recently I also got the opportunity to remix Ranindu's latest track, which is known as Wahi Andure. It's a fast BPM track, around 172 BPM, and I call this song a really big opportunity because Ranindu is a huge name in Sri Lanka. And to officially remix one of his tracks is a really big thing. Yeah. I've been sending my music to Ranindu pretty much since last year. And he of course was supporting me, and then suddenly he asked me if he want to remix one of my songs, and then he sent me the acapella. He didn't even let me listen to the original song. When I started the remix, he wanted me to be myself, and then I finished the remix within about 1 month, and he really liked it. And as of now, we have 1,500 plays on SoundCloud, and plus it got featured on EDM.com as well. It's the first song to be featured on, the first single song to be featured on EDM.com, which is a huge thing for Sri Lanka. Yeah, pretty much that's it. I'm 24.
Okay. myself in a certain musical genre. And at 28, I don't think I feel what I felt when I was 19 and I wrote heavy music and fast music and shredded solos. So I guess I'm moving away, not necessarily from music. I'll still be writing music and it'll still be intricate and it'll still be grit and dandy and sounding all fluffy and so complex and so brilliant in its own way. But it might not be heavy metal. I want to experiment with jazz, classical, and folk, and I guess it's more of a not playing heavy music for a while. Just because, I mean, you say something enough times, it just gets a bit redundant. So I guess I'm not tired of saying the same thing. I don't think a cat can change its stripes. I'll always be a heavy metal guy, I'll always be a prog rock guy. But I don't think I'm feeling that at 29. I'm going on 30, so does that answer your question? It's hard work, man. And I see a lot of people doing their own recordings, and my very good friend, all-time friend from school actually, Bernard Butit, who owns Circus Cult and owns Cult Studios, where everyone practices now. Everyone goes there. And we met in school. We were in a band together in high school, and we had fun. And we split ways when we graduated. But he was telling me, "Man, dude, you have competition because there are so many people who are getting into the recording scene. I mean, it's just one little sound card, a microphone, and a computer, and they're making records." And I'm like, that is so good. You know why? Because they'll see how bloody hard it is. It's not easy to mix. It's not easy to master. It's not easy to produce. It's an art. And if you're thinking you have a sound card and a microphone and a guitar and you're gonna make an album, I mean, the cover art has angels, statues of angels all over, an overhauling arch, and a train inside that arch which is going places, and it's got like a crystal ball, and on the left-hand side it's got a dog dressed like a pope. Now my oldest friend, who I've known since I was 3, I went to kindergarten with him, Jonathan Solomons, who is the famous owner of China Doll, passed away, and that affected me more than it affected my granddad passing away. And, just because I've known him in every stage of my life. I was in kindergarten with him, literally. I went to CIS with him. I even was in uni with him. I mean, he was almost in every stage of my life, and I guess there is some remorse, as in when I came back from Aussie, we could have met up and we could have talked a bit more and gone back to the old friends thing, but we didn't, and I was just a bit busy, and he was busy, and I guess it's just remorse, man, because you don't know how much time you have with people. Yeah, that's sad. But I was gonna call Euphoria Two Friends' Journey Through Your Euphoria. Now, euphoria has a double meaning. Euphoria can be a state of mind where you're actually traveling through your mind, your imagination, and euphoria is also another analogy for space, for actual universe, solar systems, planets, and stars, and all that stuff. my director put it, ඒක ලංකාවේ ඉන්න කාන්තාවට වෙන සිද්ධියක් තමයි. It happens, it actually happens, where these girls are almost, they're raped at a young age, or they're lied to, man promising them that they'll marry them, and after a certain time, it's just, I'm doing it, at least I'll get paid, so it's very sad, and I'm dead against the prostitution industry. I'm dead against I mean, I don't look down on people who do that. I mean, I wouldn't make the video if I didn't believe that, if I didn't have compassion for these people. But it's very sad, and it's very disheartening to see how evil people can be, and how evil people can be to use good hearts and turn them around. And it's disgusting. I think there needs to be a voice, at least in Sri Lanka, at least in the local scene, saying that this goes on.
How you talk about the kid like you ain't got no manners? I've been on your iPod but not in your standards. You better find a ziplock for all of that grammar, cause throwing in the towel really ain't on my planner. Standing in the sun, so I guess that I'm a tanner. Never squeeze hammers, but I can push a mountain. I've been putting work in, no time for doubting. Got nothing to say? Better close your mouth then. I be on my new thing, tighter than some shoestring. Grinding on my own, just show me what do you bring. Other than your gossip, saying that I lost it. Win from the fall, all you can do is watch it. I used to be a gangster, thought I was fly. Pistol grip pump in my lap at all times. I am not defined by the years gone by, cause I changed clothes and I've been redesigned. Now I can make a show rock, listen never won't stop. Back for the first time doing what you hope now. So back to the program, your musical dope man. I rose from the smoke, you thought that I was choking. I used to be a wild one, thought I was smooth. Had a bad habit of doing what I do, talking about my life like 6 o'clock news. Let me take the time to post this to you. Oh, what you know about me? Why you talking about me? Question everything that we do, but I ain't trying to be you. Oh, what you know about me? Why you talking about me? I'm not trying to compete, cause all that I can be is young M.I. Young M.I. Cat with the semi. Automatic, let them have it if they are contenders. Now watch y'all spreading that rumor like a tumor. Even on the days you off Ferris Bueller. Yep. My brothers pack steel for my sharpness. Yep. Cause I was bringing the torch into the darkness. Yep. Always examining where the heart is, so never define who Mark is. I'll be on your station, heavy rotation. This is now game time, 5-1 invasion. Check shorty dancing while she's understanding. I'm not the average rapper you've been handed. I used to be a gangster, thought I was fly. Pistol grip pump in my lap at all times. I am not defined by the years gone by, cause I changed clothes and I've been redesigned. Oh, what you know about me? Why you talking about me? Question everything that we do, but I ain't trying to be you. Oh, what you know about me? Why you talking about me? I'm not trying to compete, cause all that I can be is young M.I. Young, flying fresh, you know I got it. Snapping your neck when I drop it. Get the young, flying fresh, you know I got it. Snapping your neck when I drop it. Get the young, flying fresh, you know I got it. Snapping your neck when I drop it. Get the young, flying fresh, you know I got it. Snapping your neck when I drop it. I keep moving and staying into it. Rappers that claim that they do it, hopping on image and use it like it was part of their music. I came to renovate you with honesty, realness, and trueness, while you was praising the Judas. Jesus, my weapon of usage. I came to bring you truth, kid, while you living easy, ruthless. This ain't Chuck Taylor's, but some new kicks. But only try to rock it if the shoe fits. Oh, what you know about me? Why you talking about me? Question everything that we do, but I ain't trying to be you. Oh, what you know about me? Why you talking about me? I'm not trying to compete, cause all that
Basically, we're Constellation. We are progressive metal. There's pretty much four of us. I'm Ishanta, I drum and I sing. This is Shahan, who joined us kind of recently now. He's our rhythm guitarist. This is Aseka at the back. He plays bass, and this guy here is Dihara. He plays lead. We are relatively still kind of young, although individually we've been there for a certain while. As far as our influences are concerned, we like bands like Scale the Summit, Animals as Leaders, Opeth a lot, Periphery, Textures, anything else? Tesseract. So Mars Volta. So basically a lot of Nevermore, yes. So because we like most of the progressive bands who like doing things very different. So we are always having new genres adding on, and new styles and stuff, because each time we discover new bands, we tend to kind of like subconsciously incorporate that stuff. So Asek, you want to tell them what we've done so far?
So far we have released 2 originals, titled Time and Blight on Gaia.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a duology.
Yeah, and we also covered the Bard song by Blind Guardian and The Outsider by A Perfect Circle.
And those are all 4 of those were basically pretty much homegrown, and hashtag homegrown.
Check them on SoundCloud.
And yeah, you can basically check them out on SoundCloud. We are also on Bandcamp, and all of them were basically released for free, so you can download them whenever you feel like it. Yeah, that's pretty much what we've been up to. Okay. Stigmata, for
Hollow.
sure. Hollow, I'd say Tantrum also, because those guys have done a lot, and the album when it first came out, caused a lot of waves, and I think they've worked, they've actually like embodied progressive as well, because as I remember, they also worked with iClown for one of their tracks, if I recall correctly, so that was kind of cool. Chitty, because because he has done a lot for for the Sri Lankan metal scene. And who else? All our predecessors at on stage as well. Because they set the standard. Yeah, 5 minutes apart. There's even a lot of upcoming guys right now, who are basically making a lot of impact. A lot of young bands. I think we should probably mention what Mass Damnation also. Yeah. So yeah, and so yeah, definitely. Those are the bands that we definitely quote as influencers from the metal scene in Sri Lanka. How did we come up with Time?
I would say very spontaneous.
It was honestly very spontaneous.
We needed 2 originals for the finals.
Yeah, we because when we started the band, and we knew, okay, we wanted to be one of the bands that made an impact with our originals, because we like, obviously, yeah, it's always fun to cover songs, but it's always good to have your own identity and place your stamp on such a major competition such as TNL on stage. So we came up with Time, and we performed it for the preliminary itself. That was a lot of fun to come up with, and it had interesting elements in it. It had a lot of melodic solos. A lot of people liked the solo that we did there. Clean vocals. That was a lot of fun to do, and I think actually Dihara would be best to talk about it. Do we have to rip the mic over to you?
Can we do that?
Can we? How can we do that? No. Okay, Asayika, why don't you just? Yeah, most of
Well,
the. Yeah.
There was a lot of, I guess, careless submitting all in time and bit of thrash.
Yeah. There were, because if you listen to
Nevermore.
the second verse and all, there were tapping parts involved that were very similar to
That's
Scale the
very
Summit,
new.
because those guys literally survive on tapping and stuff. And what else? What other influences?
Light on Gaia, it was more of a textures kind of song.
Yes, because there were a lot of like.
Clean vocals and
Yeah.
growling.
There were little, few growling bursts, and that was actually my first time ever growling on any kind of song. And I think we had, as far as the guitars were concerned, where were influences coming from? Is that what you call gen?
Not really,
Gen?
no.
No, right?
Yeah, textures.
Yeah, it was very textures inspired kind of thing. So at that point, I did not know textures, but now I've gotten to know them, and they're such an amazing band. Anyway, getting back to Light on Gaia, so that was our second original, and we performed it for the first time at the finals. We did something that only one band before us has done. Yeah, it was Tantrum, right? Who did it before us? And we basically went ahead and did 2 originals for the finals, and it paid off for us. And that was a lot of fun. So Light on Gaia was a very inspired song, to be honest, because it speaks a lot about how we're kind of harming the environment, and how at some point it's actually going to really bite us, And so yeah, there was a lot of stuff that we were talking about in terms of light. Yeah, and we got a lot of good feedback on that. Also, we composed Light on Gaia in just 2 days, so that was fun. Like both of the songs were very spontaneous. So we just composed them. I think time took a little long, I guess, because we took our time with it. Oh God, I see what I did there.
Running out back and you're slamming the door. Bare feet on the grass, spreading leaves on the floor. Oh. Headed for the sun and you fall out of trees. Burning up the driveway, scrapes on your knees. Oh. From all of the paper cuts ran blood that was far bluer than the sea. When you take my hand and pull me out, I remember what it's like to be free. Dancing outside when it's thunder and rain, lightning rattling the window panes. Oh. Bringing me back to that time long ago, when I lived outside my head and I could grow. Tamer of the savage beasts, and so much braver than I ever could be. Queen of all that you survey, and ruler of the youth that stayed in me. Tamer of the savage beasts, and so much braver than I ever could be. Queen of all that you survey, and ruler of the youth that stayed in me. Queen of all that you survey, and ruler of the youth that stayed in me.
I think Sri Lankan, the homegrown music industry is probably at one of the best places it has ever been. But all that being said, it has never really been in a bad place. Like I think us as Sri Lankans, we're very creative people, and not just when it comes to music, I think when it comes to the arts in general. Like even if you look at our cinema, there was a time in the 80s and the 70s where we paved the way for the rest of Asia. Certainly India followed us in cinema in the 70s and the 80s, and even in the 90s, but unfortunately during the 90s our cinema has taken a bit of a downhill trend, and there was a bit of a downward spiral, and now everyone's gone past us, but again it's coming back up to a good position. So I think it's not just music. I think in a lot of the arts, theatre is another thing that we are excelling at the moment, things are looking good. So I think music wise, Sri Lanka, as far as I can remember, I'm a 90s, I grew up in the 90s mostly, but in the 80s, though I was very young, I had two elder sisters and they used to always listen to music, and I remember even back in the day, bands like the big club bands, so bands like Purple Rain, the Average Steelers, Cardinals Outburst, Raj Seniviratna, so bands like that, even them, though they played a lot of covers in the clubs, because that's what, it was a very club culture kind of scene back in the day, but even them, they did their own songs, like Alston Cock, for instance, in the 70s, they had some great songs like, Disco Lady, which was very popular. Then he had that song that was weirdly titled called Gimme That Banana, but it was quite a popular song. And we always had people, and even those bands that I mentioned, like Purple Rain, their Steelers, Cardinals Outburst, for instance, had a great song called Stranger to Your Love back in the day. So I remember all this stuff, and that's really what inspired me, and I thought, okay, gosh, if these guys can do it, maybe I can do this too. And in the 90s, as you know, it was a big hip-hop culture, bands like Brown Boogie Nation, Rude Boy Republic. I was kind of in the scene at the time as well, and there were lots of, we've always been a very creative bunch, and we've always been great songwriters in this country. Like, for instance, if you look at Indian bands, like Indian rock bands or pop bands or whatever, they've got there's lots of facilities in India, and there's a lot more that is available for them, but just as pure songwriters, I think we are like leagues ahead. And I think unfortunately we don't have an infrastructure to put these kids on the map, and I think it's a great thing that a TV station like this has come out to put these artists out to the world on a global stage. I think maybe now this is the start of something much bigger. So I think the local music industry is in a very good place. And I think we're getting lots of people now going out there recording their originals, putting it out. I think it's just a matter of time till one of these artists make it big outside Sri Lanka.